Hey guys, Super Smash John here, and you might be wondering why I'm reviewing Eminem Shell Shocked again, if I already did a video on that years ago. Well, back then I did a terrible job. I didn't really do much to explain. It was more like a let's play than anything else. It was completely unscripted. Everything I said was completely out of the blue, and the whole thing wasn't very good at all. So now I wanted to really do that video again and do it better, do it the way I intended. As you can see, still pretty inexperienced, but hopefully now this video will be a better. Well, so without further ado, let's get on to the review. Well, here it is. Eminem Shell Shocked on PS1, or as I like to call it, the bane of my existence, and the fox eye of my entire video game collection. You want to know why I despise this game so much? Well, I'll tell you. Sometime when I was a little kid, I was at a Shopko store, as any other kid like me would do when he entered a store. I went directly to the video game department of the store. I was just browsing through the games that they had at the time. I was just minding my own business. Then I saw it for the first time. Eminem Shell Shocked. The front cover stood out like a sore thumb. It was so colorful and it looked like a blast. That's when I knew that I must have it. I went to my mom and asked her if she could buy it for me, but she said no. But I didn't give up. I grabbed the game and took it to the nearest cashier and bought it with my own money that I had in my kid-sized wallet. I was so proud of myself since it was the first video game I've ever bought for myself. And then I played it. Alright, first the plot. It goes like this. Yellow and Red Eminem are about to go on a vacation. Unfortunately, there's trouble at the candy factory. It turns out that Yellow put the M&M's minis in charge of the candy factory.
Repeat after me. I did not leave the M&M's minis in charge.
And they randomly decided to go rogue, or should I say maverick. So Red gets mad and tells Yellow to go to the factory to recover the formulas for the candy and stop their rambunctious deeds.
There goes my part.
To this game's credit, the FMV cutscenes actually look pretty good for the PS1. I also like to point out that they got the characters' voice actors from the commercials to voice them here. Also, the cutscenes are kind of amusing.
Is your chocolate melted? Have you gone completely nuts?
Oh no, the minis have messed with the milk chocolate. We're in big trouble.
The minis have messed with the milk chocolate. You are in big trouble. Urgent memo from upstairs.
Ow. Memo. Get things under control now, or we're sending in Green to finish the job. Green. How do I look?
Chill out, Romeo. If Green comes to finish the job, guess who gets all the credit, all the kudos, all the job well done?
Don't tell me. I know this one.
Green, that's who. Green, green, green.
Where? Where? Whoa!
Sadly, these are the only good things about this game. Right off the bat, you're thrown into a driving stage. The best kind. And the controls feel lackluster. Good luck not trying to hit anything. No one stays in their lane or drives like a normal person. They all go all over the place. Along the way, you'll find crates of M&M's minis. They're the only things you're allowed to run into. And I highly recommend crashing into as many of them as you can for some easy extra lives that you'll seriously need later. So, after 3 zones of driving and avoiding drunk drivers and cows, Yellow finally arrives at the factory. Then the main part of the game begins. Yep, they totally ripped off Crash Bandicoot. Down to the spin attack, crates, and the minis that you collect take the place of the fruit from Crash. But they don't even try to hide it. They just reskin Crash Bandicoot with the M&Ms. Come on, man. You can't just do that and expect no one to notice. Obvious ripoff is obvious. so I don't have to explain the gameplay mechanics too much. Just play Crash Bandicoot and you'll understand. Only here, it sucks. The hit detection is just terrible. I sometimes get myself killed just by trying to kill an enemy. You have to be dangerously close to an enemy to kill them with a spin attack. In a game like this, it just doesn't work. You know why? Because it's one of those games. Just one hit and you're dead. It doesn't matter what it is. No health bar, no buffer like in Sonic or Mario, no anything. There's a hard hat power up that lets you take an extra hit, but since there's so much crap that tries to kill you, you end up losing it so fast that it's not worth much. And unlike Crash, it doesn't pile up if you get another one. If you're lucky to find another one without losing it, that is. So, you're better off just ignoring the enemies and just keep going. And for some dumb reason, not only can the enemies kill you with one hit, but touching just about anything else kills you just as well. If you touch a green crate, which they rip off of Crash as well, you die. If you touch chocolate on the floor, you die. If you touch spikes, you die. If you touch some parts of the floor, you die. That last part doesn't even make sense. It's like a 5-inch drop. That's like climbing down one singular stair. The overall design gets dull and uninteresting very quickly. So much blue. It also doesn't take long before the game starts to piss you off. Each level has 3 zones, the third zone being a boss battle. The boss of level 2 is an unmanned robot ship thing that you have to lure to these platforms for chocolate drips from the ceiling. The drops of chocolate are the only things that can damage it. If you try to attack the thing yourself, you'll just be wasting a life. Level 1 and 2 are easy enough, but in level 3, there's these conveyor belts that you have no choice but to run in the opposite direction that it's going. This is pretty annoying, especially when there's some cheap enemy and hazard placement that's almost impossible to avoid the first time going through. I find myself pressing up on the D-pad harder than usual, just trying to move forward on these things, as well as trying to stay alive by always jumping. The boss of Zone 3 is pretty easy though. All you got to do is just run away from it, while touching the TNT crates to damage it. Level 4 is where you avoid paint. The boss at the end of the level is just a rehash of the first boss from level 2. Only here, instead of luring the thing towards the drops of falling paint, you have to trigger the paint to drop in front of the robot by getting in its way. I guess they were just too lazy to come up with anything different. Level 5 is where the game starts to feel more like a platformer. To be honest, these stages are actually the most fun and the music here is more tolerable. But considering the other levels, that's not saying much. The boss here is a 3-eyed alligator robot head that you have to run away from. No, what would be great? Having a boss that can actually fight instead of having a bunch of bosses that I have to run away from. Okay, next. Level 6 is where the game starts to really be annoying. Oh, it was annoying before, but now it's going all out with it. It has more hazards and it brings out a new kind of enemy. These black spiky robot enemies that are unkillable, at least as far as I know. If you even come close to these guys, you're dead.
God damn it.
If you try to attack them by using your spin attack or by jumping on them, you will die. What's worse is that a few of them can actually block your path. Want to know where I'm really supposed to go from here? There. In the middle of that pile of exploding green crates. There's a spot that'll transport me to the next part of the stage. Okay, I am not letting that slide. That is just bad design. Up to this point, we know that touching the green crates are bad, yet now they hide the correct path. It wouldn't be bad if that pile hid some sort of secret item or alternate route that was optional. Instead, it's mandatory if you want to clear the stage. It's confusing. Okay, here, I just don't know how to get past this guy. Think you can simply jump over it? Nope. Jump around it? Nope, it's too fast. Well, crap. This game is just terrible. It's not because of difficulty or challenge, it's because of broken design. The absolute worst part of this whole thing is that I actually want to like this game. For me, playing this game is kind of like being in an abusive relationship. I want to love you, but you're making it hard for me, M&Ms. Are you trying to help me by giving me a bunch of easy extra lives and power-ups? Or are you trying to hurt me by making me go through your cheap difficulty and terrible design? As a kid, all I wanted out of this game was some fun. Is this game fun? No. It's not fun. Not at all. So, at this point, I just stopped playing the game. It just does not want me to beat it. And who knows, maybe I will beat it one day. Hopefully, if I do, it's probably going to be the game that'll kill me. Well, that's about all I have to say about the game. M&M's Shell Shocked. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to the store to buy me some M&M's candy and try to forget this whole thing. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Well, I guess that's all I have to say about this M&M Shell Shock review on PS1. I'm glad I could share some of my pain and wasted childhood with you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. You'll always be cool in my book. One last thing before I go, I want you to let you know that a close friend of mine recently created a channel here on YouTube. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. So go give him a like and maybe even subscribe to him, you know, just to get him started. I'm sure he'll be happy. And make sure to subscribe to me if you haven't already. I mean, you don't have to, but I'd be really grateful if you do. Well, see ya!